So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make the South Mississippi Ballet app you see here. Now, of course, you may not want your app to look just like this, but by watching this video, you will quickly pick up on some tips and tricks that you can incorporate into your own app. So, of course, this is the default app when you first create your Easier App account. Granted, it's not much to look at right now, but just wait. In a few minutes, this app will not only look fantastic, but will also be a useful tool for those who download it. Now, as with many things in life, there tends to be a certain order in which to do things to achieve the best results. An Easier App is definitely one of those things. The first step to creating your own stunning app is to add your content. Trying to style and color your app prior to adding content will most certainly lead to confusion and frustration. So trust me on this one. Add as much content as you can before going any further. Now, I'm not going to bore you with typing in all the content for this app, but I will go through the content section and show you what content I added for this app. Now, adding content is easy as it's mostly fill in the blanks. But if you get to a section you're not sure how to leverage, simply view the tutorial video link found at the upper right corner of each tab. And let me show you where that is. Right there it says tutorial video. Now let's quickly move through the content so we can get on with building South Mississippi Ballet's app. So we go to content, and I have links to web pages and phone numbers. I have a join our list, which is going to be a newsletter. I have an email us form. I do not have the rate us. I do have address in Google Maps. We have no custom forms in here. We have no scratch off coupons. We do have events. We do have a photo gallery. No punch card. We do have products and services, and we have a shopping cart, and we'll get to that in a second. Selling t-shirts. And then we needed to go, since we are selling things, we need to do a few things to our shopping cart. We need to go to general settings, shopping cart, and then we need to enable the shopping cart and then fill out the required information in order to have our shopping cart actually work. So that's it for the content. Now that we have our content, we can begin the process of styling and coloring our app. What I like to always do first is add my background, whether a color or a graphic. So we need to go to General Settings, Styles and Colors, Background, and in this instance, we actually wanted this color. So we would go up here, we would go in here, and we would type in the color, click OK, and then click Save. And of course, the background is not showing here because everything that you see here is actually in the foreground. The header, the footer, the links, and the links go all the way down. Let me show you, we'll go to say Events. And now you can see the background. This is in the foreground. This is past events. I'll show you another background. Let's go to like About. And there's the background, and this is in the foreground. Now that we have our background, I usually complete the header and footer areas next. But this app uses some more advanced features of the Easier App. So we need to go ahead and style the home page before moving to the header and footer. So what we want to do is to hide all these links. Not delete them, but hide them so we can add this. As you can see, there are no links here. All the links are actually in the slide menu. So that's what we need to do. All the links are still in the slide menu here, but they're also on the front page. So let's hide those. Let's go to Content, Home Page, Links. And with each one of these links, you can hide them individually. In fact, let me see About SMBT. We can go up here and say Show No, and you see it goes away. You can do them individually, or I can go to Link Settings, and it says Show on Home Page. I will say No. And all the links are, again, are not deleted, they're just hidden. So let's click save. And now we want to add our graphics so they appear like this. So let's go to images, add new image, upload, and I want that image, and click add. I want to add another image, add another, and one more. Uh-oh, I can't upload an image you haven't chosen yet. Add. So now this gives me 4 images. And we have a new bar. Whenever we add more than one image, we'll have something that says image settings. Before I go to that, I want to show you anytime you see up and down arrows, you can actually move these. So if you wanted a different order, you could just drag and drop it and it changes up the image. But let's go to image settings. There are many different transitions. You can play with the different transitions. I just want the slide transition like it does now. I want it to auto play. And the default is actually 5 seconds, but I want it at 3 seconds. 5 seconds is a little long. So let's save. And then let's go up to preview. Click reload preview. And give it just a second to load here so we can see what's going on. And now you'll see these images. And you can move them like this, or they will slide by themselves. So that's how we get the home page to look like that with the large graphics. Now that we have the home page images rotating the way we want, we can style the header and footer. Now let's go to the actual South Mississippi Ballet app and notice that there is no header at all on the home page. Nothing at all. There is a footer, but no header. And notice on subpages that there is a header graphic. Still no header buttons, but there is a header graphic. So how do we do that? Well, let's go back to the demonstration app, and then we go to General Settings. In fact, so you can see the difference here. There is header information here, and let's go to Events, and you'll see that there is no header graphic, but there is the title bar and these buttons. So let me reload the preview. Let's go to General Settings, Header. Scroll down so we can see what's going on here. So this is the title bar up here in the header. And what we want to do is go to Title Bar Settings, and it says Show Title Bar on All Pages. Well, no, I don't. I only want the title bar, actually I want the title bar hidden. I don't want it anywhere. So we click Save, and that's on the header. I don't want the title bar anywhere in the header, but I do want a header image. So then we go to Images, add a new image. I don't want it to link to a page. That's the image I want, and then click Add. And then it's going to ask me Show Images on all pages, only the home page, only subpages, or none. And I only want this header shown on subpages. Then we click Save. Now let's go back to Preview, reload the preview, and then you will see, it didn't save it, did it? Let me refresh my browser. Let me go back to General Settings, Header, Images. I must not have clicked that correctly. Only subpages, Save. Let's go back to Preview, reload Preview. and then you'll see that there is absolutely no header graphic, no anything in the header for this. But if we go to, say, events, we do have our header graphic up here. One thing I do want to uh, at least tell you about a little bit, when I move my cursor over here, you see that a scroll bar shows up and takes up space. Obviously on a real phone there's not a scroll bar that pops up, so what you see here is really what you will get on a phone, not that. Just keep that in mind when you're developing your app. But you see what's going on. No header, there's the header graphic. We go back home and it's just the images that slide for the header. Okay, now let's style the footer. And let me show you on their official app what the footer looks like. It has these three buttons here in the button bar, and we want to add those. So how we do that, and let's look at ours right now, all we have is this in the title bar. So we need to add those three buttons. So what we do is we go to General Settings, Footer, then we go to Button Bar, and we want to add some links to the button bar. So click Add, Add Link, and we want to put Share App, but of course I don't want it to be called Share App. I just want it to say Share. Click Add. You see that it's getting added down there. I want to add another link, and it's Join List, but I don't want it to say Join List. I want it to say Newsletter. Then click Add. You can see it's getting added down there. I want to add one more link, and since South Mississippi Ballet does sell t-shirts, we need to add a cart button. So we go to Shopping Cart, and I just want to make it say Cart, and then click Add, and then click Save. And let's go to our main preview and hit Reload Preview. And there we have the buttons for that. And ultimately we're going to color those, change the font and things like that in just a second. But first we have to have the objects actually there. So let's color the footer now so it actually looks like this rather than this. So let's go to General Settings, Styles and Colors. Scroll down a little bit here, go to Footer, and then what we want to do is go to Background. We need to change the background color. To that color right there, and then we need to back off the transparency a little bit. Say to 60. And then we need to go to our button bar, which is right here. We do not have a tab bar. Tab bars go all the way across. We didn't add a tab bar to this app. So let's go to button bar. Change the text font to this one right here. Let's change the text icon color. I'm going to do that to white. Then we need to do the background color. We probably should have done the background color first, but that's okay. And we're going to leave the border color the same. And the selected background, what that is when you click on this, it's going to change colors to let people know that that's where they are. Currently it is this blue. Of course that does not fit with our color scheme. So let's change that. Alrighty, the tab bar looks good. Now we need to color and adjust these buttons and our text here. So let's go to the title bar. And I want to change the font. And I want to change this to something called Bad Script. I'm actually going to do Control F. There we go. And then I want to knock the text size, this title text right here where it says South Mississippi Ballet. Let's knock that down to about 12. And then let's change the title text color to white. As you can see, it changed it to white right there. Now let's change the button background colors. There we go. And then we need to change the button text icon color. I'm going to make that white, so I'm just dragging that over to white. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to change the font for these buttons, and I want to change that to, I'm going to Control F again, to Adamina. There we go. And then I'm going to scroll up and click Save. Never forget to save. Go to our main preview, click Reload Preview. And then you can see what our footer looks like now. And let's compare that. This is South Mississippi Ballet's official app. And you see the footer there. And this is the app that we're creating. And it's right there. And looks fantastic. Now we need to color the links that are within the app. And let me show you what the links are in this particular app, or what they look like. Let's go to Menu. We'll go to Events. And this will be a link. And this links to an event. So that's all that we're trying to color, is this right here. So let's go back to Home. And let me show you how to do this. So we're going to go to General Settings, Styles and Colors, Main Links. And you see the link is unstyled and uncolored here. So what we need to do is go to Settings, and then I want the border of this to be white. So I'm going to say Add Border, click OK for white, and I'm going to delete this other colored border. You can't really see it right now, but when I show you the other app, you'll be able to see the border color being white. For our demo app, I just added this one link, but I'll show you what it looks like in just a second. Let's go to Icon Content Box, and let's go to the background color. And first I'm going to add a color. This is a color I've been using throughout this app. I'm going to remove this. And you see there, you can see the actual white border color that we did just a second ago. And I want to make this background transparency 0. I want it to be the same color as everything else. And then we need to move down here to the border color. Let's move this to white and click OK. And then let's remove that color. Then let's go to Icon. Of course, icon is right here. I want to change the icon color, so we'll need to add a color first. And basically it's the same color I've been using throughout. Let's remove that. And you can see it turned colors on us. And I want to go to a border width of 1. You can see it added a border there. I want to go to a border radius of 5. Of course, it radiused the border. And the border padding of 16, which is going to make the border actually wide like that. And then the border color I want to change. And then I want to get rid of the, and there we go. Now we have the icon and icon text box the way we want. Let's move to the text content box, which of course is this box here that houses the text. And let's change the background color. Nothing new here. I want to change the background transparency to 0 so it looks like the rest of the app. And I want to change the border color to white. And then I want to remove that. Very good. And then the last thing I want to do is fix the color of this text. And all I need to do here is just make the text white. Then click OK. Click Save. And this is the link. I'm going to show you another link real quick. Let's go to Products and Services. And of course previously that was the default color. But what I want to show you is, let's go back to Events. And you see there's only one. Let's go to the actual app. And these are the events. And this is what it looks like with multiple events. Just so you know. Alright, now we need to color and style our form elements. And let me show you what we're actually going to style. That's the joining newsletter. And let me point out some of these form elements here. We have the text inputs. Again, text. We have a switch here and a button. And that's actually for the join menu. There are other not there. Email us is another one that has form elements, and you see these are uncolored and unstyled as well. But we're going to do the newsletter. So let's go to General Settings, Styles and Colors, and then we're going to go to Forms. And then we're going to start with labels. Actually, let's go to Join Newsletter so we can see what our changes are doing. Of course, these are the labels up here, name and email address. So, the text color, I want this to be white. I want to change the text font to this one, Adamina. And then I want to knock the text size down a little bit. It's a little big right now, so let's take that down to 14. So that looks good. Let's go to our text inputs. And of course that's these right here, these text inputs. Let's move this up a little bit so we can see better. So I want to go, instead of starting from the top, I want to start here, border size 3. So you can see it puts a border around there, and I want to change the border color. And of course, you should know the color by now. And then what I want to do is I want to change the divider color to white. Of course, that's the divider color right there, or the divider actually. Now the background color. Alright, and then I want to knock the transparency down so it's not so bright there. Let's get that to 60. There we go. So let's go to drop downs, radio buttons, and switches. And this is our switch right here that we're going to color and style. So I'm going to start with the background color. Change the background color. I want to change the text color. I want that to be white. And the border size I want to be 3. And I want to radius this a little bit more, so I'm going to make that, say, 11. And of course we need to change the border color. then what I want to do is I want to knock that transparency down to 60 so we can get some differentiation there. There we go. And then the last thing I want to change here is the selected color. And again, when we move this over and we actually move the switch over, it's going to change. Right now it's going to change to that blue. And of course that doesn't fit with our color scheme. So let's change this to the same selected color we've used throughout the app, which is just kind of a lighter pink than here. So that looks good. And now we just need to do our button. And this does the buttons for the whole app. So I'm going to start with the background color. And then again, I want to knock this transparency down to 60 so it looks the same as all the other form elements we have. Looking good. Border color. And then I want to come up here to the text color. I'm going to go ahead and change that to white. And then the text weight, I want bold, so that submit looks a little bit bigger. Then I want to make this border size 3, make that the same as the rest of the borders. And then the last thing I want to do here is I want to change the border radius. Move that to 16. Of course, that just makes it a little bit more round. Then we need to click Save. And that's what that looks like. That's the newsletter. Let's see what, like Share App is another one that would have form elements. And you see how all that looks too. So we did all our form elements. And the next thing we'll do is the photo gallery. Alright, now we need to color and style our photo gallery. So how we do that is we go to General Settings, Styles and Colors, scroll down, go to Photo Gallery, and then of course it's already at the photo gallery, but I want to, if we weren't already there, I would want to go to the photos. And this is what default, what the photo gallery or what the photos in the photo gallery actually look like. They're basically perfect squares. But we don't want our photo gallery to look like that. We want to make our photo gallery a little bit nicer. So the first thing I want to do here is I want to make the border size 2. So we added a border around them. I don't want square. I want to radius. I want these a little bit more round. So I want to make that 19. The border radius. So we rounded the images a little bit. And then the image size, I want them bigger. Let's take that, whoops, too much. I'll take that to 84. And of course, as you can see, the spacing is off there, so we need to increase the spacing to 83. Oh, perfect. And you can see the spacing looks good. And then really the last thing we want to do here is the border color. I want to make that white. Then I want to click Save. And that is what our photo gallery looks like now. So let me go back to Preview. Let's hit Reload Preview. I'm going to take us to our photos. And of course, that's what they look like. And when somebody taps on it, it will actually take you to the photo gallery. And you're able to flick it with your finger, or you can touch the backwards and forwards button, and that's how you close it out right there. So that's the photo gallery. Alright, now let's color and style our slide menu links, and let me show you what that is. We go here to Menu, and it's the slide menu, since it slides and it's a menu. Pretty ingenious. So as you can see now, it is not colored and styled. What we want it to look like is this right here. When we're done, this is what the color and styling is going to look like. So how do we do that? Let's go to General Settings, styles and colors. This loads up. We're going to go to slide menu links, and then let's pull out our menu real quick so we can actually see what we're doing. And then the first thing we need to do is go to settings, and we're going to make the border size 1. We can pull that border size and it changes all these to 1. And then I want to change our border radius to 5. And you probably couldn't see a whole lot that was going on there. You can see that it radiused those by 5, and our border is 1, made the border, these a little bit bigger, so when we add our colors, they will shine through better. So that's all we need to do there for settings. And then let's go to icon content box, and I want to change the background color. And then I want to knock the background transparency down so it's not so bright. I'm going to knock that down to about 65. And that's all we need to do here. And then let's go to icon. I want to make the icon bigger, make that 38. Well, we were right there. Well, 39 is good enough. Let's change the icon color. That's a little bit darker there. And we need to delete this color so it makes all the icons that color. Let's see, we need to go to border width. We need to make that 4. You see what it does there. And then I want to radius the border. Make that 10. You can see it radiuses the border. And then I want the padding. I want that to be bigger around the icon. So I want to make that padding 7. And you see what it does there. And then the border color, I want to change that. And then I want to, as you can see, and we've talked about this before, but I'll go over it again real quick. You have this color and this color. So you have, that's the border color of that, and then that's the border color. It goes in order. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. If we added another color, it would go 1, 2, 3. If we had another color over here and we had 4 border colors, and it would say, then it would go in order 1, 2, 3, 4. You get the idea. I want the border to be all of the same color, so let's remove that one, and then you see what happens there. So then we need to go to text content box. Oh, you know what? We didn't delete that. Look at that. Let's remove that. There we go. Now that looks much better. Let's go to text content box, and that's this area over here. And let's change the background color to there. Let's remove that color so it's all that. But let's knock the transparency down to 65 so it also looks, whoops, too much, the same as the other one. And that's all we need to do there. And then let's go to text. And I want to align the text center. We move that over. I want to change the text color to white. And then I actually want to change the text font to Adamina. Then I want to click Save. And then we can see our slide menu, and now it is colored and styled. Alright, and the very last thing we need to do is to rename and rearrange our slide menu links. And of course, as we know, this is our slide menu. So let's go to General Settings, Slide Menu. Let's go to Slide Menu Links. And of course, whenever you see these up and down arrows, this means that you can move these, drag and drop, and they will move for you. So this is good. We want about, the third thing we want is call. So we'll drag that up, but also want to rename this. I don't want it to say call us. I just want it to say call. And so as you can see, it changed here. And then products and services, we want that to be up here, but I don't want to call it products and services. These are our t-shirts. That's what I want to call that. And we actually want to change the icon here. We're going to search for shirt. And I'm most certain that it will find a good icon for us here. I don't know, this one looks pretty good. As you can see, it changed the icon right there. And events, that's where we want it to be. Newsletter, but I want to change, I don't want to say join, I just want it to say newsletter. Videos is where I want it to be. Photos is where I want it to be. Location is where I want it to be. I want email us to be there. And then share app, and then website. So that looks good. I want to save that. I want to show you something. You know, remember we changed these names instead of products and services. It's changed to t-shirt. Well, that's not going to change until we actually reload the page. So let me do that real quick. Let's go back to general settings, slide menu. Let this load up and go to slide menu links. And you just see now it says t-shirts instead of products and services or whatever it said. But that's how that updates. So that is our slide menu link. This is what our app, let me reload the preview here. This is our SMBT app that we made from scratch, and it looks fantastic. Let's see what the original looks like, which is right here. This is the actual SMBT app, and ours looks just like it. Excellent. Again, if you ever need any help, have any questions, never hesitate to contact us, and we'll be more than happy to help you any way we can. Next, we need to color and style the content body. And let me show you what I mean by content body. Let's go to menu and about, and you'll see all this in here is uncolored and unstyled, and that's what I mean by the content body. You can also go to, say, newsletter, and you'll see that it's unstyled and uncolored. Now in the newsletter there are some form elements that we will style separately, like the name and email address and these input boxes and these buttons and things, and we'll do that on the right after styling the content body. So let's excuse me, let's go back to about SMBT, and you'll see this is just straight text, no form elements at all. So how do we style and color this? It's easy enough. Let's go to General Settings, Styles and Colors, Content Body, and we're here at the content body right now. And what we're going to do is I want to change the background color, and I want to change this to really the same color we've been using throughout this app. And then what I want to do to change the hue is to change the transparency of it. I'm going to change that to 55, and you'll see that it knocks down that color a lot. And then what we're going to do is we're going to radius this a little bit more. So we're going to go to border radius right here, and we're going to change that to 16. If you look closely, you'll see that change. In fact, we'll go to 0 and then 16, and you'll see what it does. Then I want to add an actual border, so one, and then you see the border appear. Then I want to change the border color, and you guessed it, the same color we've been using throughout this app. Click OK. And then the last thing I want to change is the text color. And all I want to do there is just make that white and click OK. And I want to leave everything else the same. So I want to click Save. Then I want to go back to the main preview. I want to hit Reload Preview. And then I'm going to show you the About page. This is it. And I'm going to show you what we looked at just a second ago. What is that? Join Newsletter? And kind of show you what's going on. You see the content body has changed, but the form elements have not changed. So we're going to do that in just 1 second.